G'day everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Aussie Investing Machine. Thanks so much for joining me. In this episode, we're going to be talking about influential investor Chamath. Chamath is well known for his participation in SPACs, also known as special purpose acquisition companies. Chamath has taken a number of SPACs onto the market, and investors who have been involved have seen some really good returns. So I thought in this episode we'd talk a little bit about Chamath and then a little bit about some of the SPACs that he has created. As always, this video is not financial advice. Please consult a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. So Chamath was originally from Sri Lanka. During his childhood, his family filed for refugee status in Canada. He grew up in Canada and then ended up working for a bank in which he was reasonably successful. He later moved to the US and ended up in a role at Facebook. While at Facebook, Chamath earned a very healthy salary and was rewarded with a large amount of bonuses. He invested all of this cash very wisely. He picked promising companies that would deliver strong results in a short period of time. Examples of some of these investments which helped him accumulate quite a lot of money include Pure Storage, BumpTop, a company later purchased by Google, Playdom, a company later purchased by Disney, and Palantir, a company which we've spoken about on this channel. If you'd like to see my video on Palantir, I'll leave a link up on screen. In 2011, Chamath started his own fund called Social Capital. The goal of this fund was to invest in companies and sectors of the market which were being ignored by other venture capitalists. This included sectors like health, financial services, and education. His firm has since expanded and gone on to invest in companies like Amazon, Tesla, and Slack. In 2018, Chamath shut his venture capitalist funds to new investors. However, since then, he's brought a number of SPACs to market, which has provided new opportunities for investors. Let's quickly run through some interesting facts about Chamath. In 2020, Chamath helped take Virgin Galactic public through one of his SPACs. In 2021, Chamath helped take Clover Health, a Medicare insurance company, public also through a SPAC. Chamath also has a keen interest in poker. He's featured on the World Poker Tour and the World Series of Poker on a number of occasions and done quite well for himself. He finished number 101 out of over 6,000 entries in the World Series of Poker's main event. It's clear that this man is not only a brilliant investor, he is multi-talented, that is for sure. So you might be wondering at this point, what exactly are SPACs and what SPACs has Chamath brought to market? So SPACs, as I mentioned at the start of the video, is short for special purpose acquisition companies. They are essentially shell companies that raise money by listing on the stock market. Otherwise known as blank check companies, there is no productive business behind these listings. After the SPAC goes public, they begin to look for a private company to acquire. These acquisitions allow the SPAC to take a private company public without having to jump through the same hoops as a traditional IPO listing. This allows the SPACs ultimately a lot more flexibility in their acquisition approach. Now, Chamath has been labeled the king of SPACs, and it could be for good reason. Let's go through some of his SPACs and how they've performed. Virgin Galactic listed on the New York Stock Exchange under ticker code SPCE. It was Chamath's first SPAC deal completed under ticker code IPOA. Shares of Virgin Galactic are up 129% year to date, and it's up over 440% from its initial IPOA listing. Open Door Technologies, NASDAQ ticker code OPEN, is another SPAC brought to life by Chamath. Open Door is an on-demand digital experience to help with buying and selling a home. Shares of Open Door are up 17% year to date and over 168% from its IPOB listing. You can see the trend developing here. Each new SPAC brought to market by Chamath gets the next letter of the alphabet in his IPO series. We started with IPOA, then on to IPOB, and this trend has been continuing. Clover Health, which we mentioned before, is up 23% year to date, and it's up 29% on its initial IPO listing. There are more, but these are some of the most notable. Chamath's fifth SPAC, IPOE, has agreed to take fintech startup SoFi to the public market. However, his fourth and sixth IPOD and IPOF SPACs are yet to find an acquisition target. Despite this, we're still seeing the value of these blank check listings going through the roof. It's a really interesting concept which the ASX itself is actually contemplating whether or not to allow in Australia. I'd be really interested to know if you've invested in any of Chamath's SPACs. Make sure to let me know in a comment below. If you liked the video, please give it a like. And if you've learned something along the way, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. If you've had any luck with one of Chamath's SPACs, let me know about your returns in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story. Anyway, that's all from me for this episode. Until next time, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.